WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 11.
Measles cases flare up across the country and right here in Michigan. It is our top story tonight at 11. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones.
And I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Montcalm has a confirmed measles outbreak, the first in the state since 2019. An outbreak is described as 3 or more related cases.
And a case of measles has been confirmed in an Ingham County 1-year-old as well.
Yes, that case has led Ingham County health officials to schedule a measles vaccination clinic for next week. It will take place on Tuesday, April 22nd from 3 to 7 p.m. at 5303 Cedar Street in Lansing. It will happen in Conference Room A on the 2nd floor. Walk-ins are welcome. You want to bring your insurance card if you have one and a photo ID. Health officials say the nature of this disease makes it extremely important to get vaccinated.
Measles is incredibly contagious. It is our most contagious disease that humankind has seen. So if you are exposed to it, it is extremely likely you're going to get it if you're not vaccinated.
According to the CDC, early symptoms of measles can include a fever at or above 104 degrees, cough and a runny nose, and pink eye. After 2 to 3 days, small white spots in the mouth may develop, followed by the telltale raised rash after another 2 days.
At least 2 people were killed and 6 others injured in a shooting at Florida State University today.
As Katie Weiss reports, we are now learning more about the suspect.
You know, you grow up and you do these shooting drills all the time, and it's now we experience it again.
Students and teachers scrambled when shots rang out Thursday afternoon near the Student Union building on the FSU campus in Tallahassee.
I didn't see the shooter, but I saw the kids running away. I heard some screaming. And the shots, like 3 rounds of like 5 shots, and then 7 shots. So it must have been some back and forth going on.
Officers quickly engaged and wounded the gunman, identified as Phoenix Eichner, believed to be an FSU student.
Our citizens should feel some degree of comfort knowing that your law enforcement agencies are going to respond and do exactly what we did in this case.
For Leon County Sheriff Walter McNeil, this case hits close to home. Eichner is the son of one of his deputies.
Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene.
This is the neighborhood where Deputy Eichner lives with her son. Phoenix was more than a child of law enforcement. He was a fixture in the Leon County Sheriff's Office, engaging in several training programs. This shooting quickly reignited the debate over gun control, with supporters demanding Washington take action. President Trump said, quote, "These things are terrible," end quote, but made his position clear.
As far as legislation is concerned, this has been going on for a long time. I have an obligation to protect the Second Amendment. I ran on the Second Amendment, among many other things.
Florida State canceled all events Thursday and home athletic events through Sunday, while the community grieves and processes what happened. Katie Weiss, CBS News, Tallahassee, Florida.
After the mass shooting at MSU, 911 operators were praised for their response efforts.
And they're being honored again for Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, which recognizes emergency dispatchers and their contributions to communities.
Dispatchers know they have a big responsibility and say it's so much more than just answering the phone. Eaton County Central Dispatch Director says operators go through 6 to 9 months of training, and once they're ready, they work 12-hour shifts that involve a lot of teamwork.
This job is not an easy job, but you also have this sense of pride because you are making a difference.
The Eaton County Dispatch Center logs roughly 114,000 calls a year, and there are 16 dispatchers and 6 supervisors on staff. They say if you accidentally call 911, don't hang up and pretend it didn't happen. Just explain to the dispatcher that it was a mistake.
After 30 years of dedicated service over in the city of East Lansing, Chief Don Carson is retiring from the East Lansing Fire Department. Carson began her career in August of 1994 as a firefighter and paramedic and rose through the ranks, serving as lieutenant, captain, and deputy chief. She has also served as an EMS instructor. In September of 2021, Carson was appointed as the city's first female fire chief. A celebration for Carson will be held on Friday, April 25th at East Lansing Fire Station 1, and community members are welcome to attend.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has joined a bipartisan coalition of 41 attorneys general. They're sending a letter urging Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy to require better cooperation with law enforcement from the next operator of the National Human Trafficking Hotline. Since 2007, Polaris has operated the National Human Trafficking Hotline with millions of dollars in funding authorized by Congress. It was recently discovered that Polaris was failing to forward third-party tips about adult victims to state law enforcement except in limited circumstances. States rely on that hotline to forward those tips to suspect human trafficking to local law enforcement to then arrest traffickers, safely recover the victims, and uncover evidence of trafficking rings and operations.
We are following a couple of stories out of the state capitol tonight.
Now the first involves a bill package to improve maternal health outcomes.
Yes, this multifaceted bill package, which passed the state Senate today, works to improve integrity and accountability in Michigan's maternal health care system. Sponsors say the goal is to make sure every family has an equal opportunity to experience a healthy, empowering pregnancy and birth. Supporters also say the community-driven bill package, crafted by women of color for women of color, will help tackle racial and ethnic maternal health disparities.
In the House, a bill has been passed that supporters say will provide new practical options to the state's standardized testing process. House Bill 4158 would create a system that moves from one standardized test for all students, the M-STEP, to multiple lower stress and less time-consuming assessments to see how effectively children are actually learning. That bill now moves to the Senate.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Tomorrow, one of those days we call a conditional threat for severe weather, meaning I'm not too sure that we're going to see any severe storms, but if storms do go, they'll quickly become severe. There's a look at the severe weather outlook. Basically, all of mid-Michigan in a level 2 risk for strong to severe storms. The individual threats, a decent chance there'll be some hail with these storms. And if you were watching yesterday, this outlook didn't extend all the way to Milwaukee. That's kind of been expanded west because a cold front looks slower, and that's important for us because I think as it moves into mid-Michigan, that percentage will be dropping as it gets closer to central mid-Michigan. Same thing with the damaging wind threat, but that's probably my biggest concern just because the winds away from the surface are quite strong tomorrow evening. Tornado threat, it's low. I don't want to say it's zero, certainly, but a minor spin up. And to me, it looks like northern sections of mid-Michigan where a warm front's going to reside tomorrow afternoon will be the focus for any enhanced spin in the atmosphere. That's what I'll be watching really closely. Our satellite and radar tonight shows a few showers pushing in and eventually maybe a few thunderstorms. Best chance for storms is to our north, but don't be shocked to hear a rumble of thunder out there. Warm front is to our north basically by tomorrow afternoon, and that's the area that we'll watch closely. There's not a whole lot popping up ahead of the storm because there's some warm air away from the surface, which will add like a lid on thunderstorm development. We're going to need this front to really kick off the storms, and notice that doesn't happen until probably midnight or shortly thereafter. So with that in mind, overnight severe weather is not a high threat here normally, so I suspect we'll probably see non-severe storms or maybe one or two warnings out there tomorrow night. But again, we'll watch it closely. Showers and storms down to our south and east by Saturday. That moisture needs to be watched, though, because it's going to throw some clouds in our direction, so mostly cloudy Saturday. And eventually these showers will move back north, probably by Sunday evening into Monday. That'll be our next chance for rainfall. Temperatures tonight are sitting in the mid-50s for the most part. It's a warm night out there compared to the last few nights. On the Skyview Network, McClear and Cam, temperature 56 degrees, high today 65. Morning low is down to 32 degrees in Grand Ledge. Our current temperature has fallen to 58 degrees after a high of 65. Our wind gust up to 27 miles per hour. Tonight in Jackson, we've got cloudy skies, temperatures at 57 degrees after a high today of 63. Morning low made it down to 25, so a cold start. In Hillsdale, as we're awaiting some of those rain showers, temperatures at 56 degrees with today's high up to 62. A morning low of 30. Wind gusts today generally between 15 and 25 miles per hour. Really not all that bad. They'll be much higher, though, as we head into tomorrow. Tonight's forecast, overnight low down to 53 degrees with scattered showers and isolated storms possible. For tomorrow, we'll have much of the day will be dry. Temperatures mid-60s at noon, windy, highs in the mid-70s tomorrow afternoon. And then after sunset, this is the best chance for showers and thunderstorms. The 6-day forecast on Saturday and Sunday, mostly cloudy skies, cooler with highs in the 50s. Monday or Sunday night into Monday, we've got rain back in the area with temps near 60 on Monday. Into the 60s Tuesday and Wednesday. Another chance for rain showers, but not until next weekend. but at least it stays warm with highs in the 60s and overnight lows in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
with highs in the 60s and overnight lows in the 40s.
Yeah, and I mean, upper 60s, ticking close to 70 there,
I
David.
mean, we're getting
I saw her
into
lean in like, what is that number over there?
it's like summer's right around the corner.
Ooh, I know.
good.
Yeah.
76. Flip-flop weather.
Let's see if she wears them tomorrow
Oh, she's
night.
already been wearing them.
I wear them when it's like 45. Well, these are
Oh,
my...
she does have them on. Just kidding.
Thanks, David. Well, coming up on 6 News at 11, the Trump administration targets universities that are not agreeing to their demands. We'll have the latest when we return.
That and more straight ahead, so keep it right here.